The first and most revealing sign that someone doesn't truly belong in high society is never the handbag, the car, or the couture. Those things can be bought. What cannot be purchased, what instantly separates the insiders from the outsiders, is how they speak, how they glide into a room. They handle the lightest, simplest conversation with elegance, calmness, and social intelligence. In elite circles, small talk is not small at all. It's the quiet performance that determines whether you blend in or stand out for all the wrong reasons. If you're building your own path to wealth, refinement, and generational legacy, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Because the people who understand these unwritten rules move through the world differently. And after today, you will too. Let's step inside the drawing rooms, vineyards, charity luncheons, and private clubs where the wealthy evaluate one another without ever appearing to. Conversations here unfold like silk, smooth, light, intentional. And every sentence, every pause, every smile reveals more than most people realize. These are the unwritten rules of small talk in high society. And breaking even one can expose you instantly. Rule 1. Small talk must create comfort, not impress. In ordinary environments, people try to impress through conversation, listing achievements, sharing credentials, proving their intelligence. But in elite circles, trying too hard is the quickest way to be dismissed. High society views comfort as the most valuable social currency, and the people who create it are the ones who belong. A story is often told about a newly wealthy couple attending their first summer charity gala in the Hamptons. The husband, eager to connect, began enthusiastically talking about recent deals he closed and the markets he was dominating. But high society does not reward intensity. It rewards ease. Within minutes, the conversation froze. The powerful older man he spoke to simply smiled, nodded, and drifted away. The rest of the evening, the couple found themselves politely ignored. Not shunned, just gently moved to the edges of the room. Because the first rule is this: conversation in elite settings should make others feel relaxed, never overwhelmed. Rule 2: speak slowly and respect the space between words. In the everyday world, people rush to fill silence. They answer instantly, fearing the slightest pause. But in high society, silence is not awkward. It's elegant. It signals composure, confidence, and emotional stability. Those who belong take a breath before responding. Just the slightest pause. It sends a message. I am comfortable here. I am not rushed. I do not need to perform. A newcomer often gives themselves away by instantly jumping into sentences, talking too fast, or filling every quiet moment with nervous chatter. The elite notice this immediately. In high society, pace is presence. Rule 3: never ask, "What do you do?" This is one of the most important rules, and outsiders break it constantly. In elite spaces, asking someone what they do is considered unimaginative, borderline intrusive, and deeply middle-class in energy. High society cares more about who you are than what you produce. They value character, demeanor, interests, upbringing, mutual acquaintances, not job titles or income streams. The question, "What do you do?" flattens a person into an economic role. Instead, conversation begins with observations about the setting, the art, the host, shared connections, or light atmospheric topics. A newcomer once asked an heiress at a London dinner what she did for a living. The table went silent. Not because it was offensive, but because it revealed he didn't understand the culture. She gave a polite smile and redirected the conversation, but the impression had been made. He was charming, but clearly inexperienced. In high society, curiosity must be soft, never investigative. Rule 4: understatement is your social armor. The elite rarely describe things in great detail, and they never flaunt what they have. A long yacht vacation becomes, "We spent some time by the coast." A month in St. Bart's becomes, "We escaped the cold for a bit." They intentionally smooth out the edges of luxury. Overdescription signals a need for admiration. Understatement signals confidence. If someone begins listing the exact resorts they stayed at, the expensive activities they did, or all the exclusive places they visited, the room quietly closes its doors. Not rudely, just instinctively. Old money lives by one principle. If it's real, you don't have to say it loudly. Rule 5. Emotions must be smooth, never dramatic. This rule separates the refined from the restless instantly. High society does not raise voices. It does not tell chaotic stories. It does not showcase emotional extremes. Even humor is subtle, dry, and softly delivered. A story that might be told with lively hand gestures and volume elsewhere would be narrated with calm understatement in elite settings. A man spilling champagne at a dinner? The table pretends it never happened. A woman arriving flustered from traffic? She'll smooth her dress, exhale gently, and rejoin the room's rhythm. Drama is not considered entertaining. It is considered disruptive. Grace is the goal. Rule 6. Listening is your most powerful social signal. In high society, the most respected people are often the quietest speakers. They don't dominate a conversation, they hold it. They listen fully without rushing. They let others feel clever, interesting, and valued. The ability to listen is interpreted as emotional stability and inner confidence. Those who interrupt, talk over others, or turn conversations back to themselves are revealed immediately. A powerful person never needs the spotlight, because the room naturally gives it to them. Rule 7. Gossip is social self-sabotage. In elite social circles, gossip is not entertainment, it is danger. The wealthiest families move in tight, overlapping networks that stretch across generations, schools, charities, marriages, and long-standing friendships. Everyone knows everyone, and everyone remembers everything. A newcomer at a dinner in Milan once repeated a rumor he'd overheard about a couple's marital troubles, thinking he was simply being conversational. The table fell quiet. The hostess smiled politely, but something in the air changed. By the next season, he was no longer on any guest lists. Not because anyone confronted him, but because high society protects itself. The unspoken agreement is simple. If you cannot protect someone's privacy, you cannot be trusted with access. Gossip is a sign of insecurity, of someone who needs stories to fill space. The elite prefer people who understand discretion, the kind of person who treats every conversation as confidential, even when it's harmless. In high society, your silence says far more about your character than your stories ever could. Rule 8. Pivot away from sensitive topics with grace. Knowing how to shift a conversation is an essential skill in elite settings. When a topic becomes too personal, too political, too emotional, or too revealing, the wealthy do not correct the speaker or announce the discomfort. That would create embarrassment, the greatest social sin. Instead, they glide the conversation in a new direction, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. If someone begins drifting toward a polarizing subject, they might redirect gently. I've always thought people's experiences shape that differently. Speaking of which, have you seen the new exhibit? It's soft, subtle, effortlessly elegant. The pivot is a social dance step, smooth, seamless, and crucial to maintaining harmony. Because the goal of small talk in high society is never to win a debate, it's to preserve the atmosphere. People who cannot pivot, who cling to heavy topics or push their opinions, are seen as socially clumsy, no matter how intelligent they are. Rule 9. Politeness must feel effortless. Politeness in high society does not resemble performative niceness. It is steady, quiet, natural, an unconscious part of one's presence. The wealthy greet staff with the same warmth they show to guests. They never bark orders, snap fingers, or act impatient. Even their corrections are softened. Their gratitude is sincere but understated. They understand that good manners are not about showing refinement. They are about protecting the dignity of others. Politeness, when done properly, feels like ease. Politeness, when forced, feels like insecurity. And the room always senses the difference. Rule 10. Humor should be light, subtle, and never excessive. Humor is welcome in elite conversation, but only the right kind. The wealthy prefer wit over punchlines, irony over sarcasm, and light amusement over loud laughter. Their humor lands softly, not dramatically. Someone making the entire room roar with laughter may be entertaining, but they rarely gain respect. Someone making the room smile with understated cleverness gains admiration effortlessly. Oversized jokes, dramatic storytelling, and loud reactions feel out of place. Subtle humor delivered calmly signals that you do not need attention. Attention simply arrives. Rule 11. Emotional stability is more impressive than intelligence. This rule isn't spoken aloud, but everyone knows it. High society values calmness over charisma, balance over brilliance, composure over cleverness. A person can be highly educated, charismatic, and articulate, but if they show emotional volatility, irritation, defensiveness, impatience, insecurity, nothing else matters. The wealthy trust those who remain steady, those who do not react impulsively, those who carry their emotional world quietly and elegantly. In elite circles, emotional instability is the equivalent of broken etiquette. It makes people uncomfortable. And in these environments, making others uncomfortable is the true social failure. Rule 12. Protect others from embarrassment at all costs. In high society, causing someone embarrassment, even unintentionally, is one of the gravest social offenses. Emotional comfort is treated like fine crystal, fragile, precious, and to be handled delicately. If someone mispronounces the name of an exclusive wine, no one corrects them brusquely. The refined response is to weave the correct pronunciation subtly into your next sentence, allowing the other person to adjust without shame. If someone spills a drink, the room pretends not to notice. If someone loses their train of thought, the listener offers a gentle bridge. If someone makes a small social mistake, no one points it out. In elite circles, embarrassing someone is viewed as vulgar. Grace is measured in how gently you protect the dignity of others. Not performatively, but naturally, instinctively, as though kindness is woven into your social posture. This rule is one of the clearest differences between those raised in refinement and those still learning its language. Rule 13. Never display desperation, social, financial, or emotional. The wealthy have an extraordinary sensitivity to desperation of any kind. It can be financial. What do you do? We should work together. Social. Introduce me to your friends. Or emotional. I'd love to be included next time. Any hint of neediness creates an invisible barrier. Those who belong project steadiness. They do not chase. They do not cling. They do not angle for invitations. Because in high society, the more you show that you want entry, the more the door closes. Belonging is signaled through ease, not ambition. People who carry themselves as if they already belong get invited. People who try to earn it don't. Rule 14. Don't overshare. Mystery is magnetic. High society does not open up quickly. Its conversations are light and controlled, revealing small layers at a time. Outsiders often sabotage themselves by oversharing personal details, emotions, struggles, or past difficulties in an attempt to bond. But the elite prefer subtlety. They reveal just enough to be personable, but not enough to expose their private world. Mystery is seen as elegance. Restraint is seen as power. And someone who reveals too much too soon creates discomfort because it disrupts the emotional balance of the interaction. Old money especially embraces this rule. Their personal lives, family matters, and private histories remain behind an invisible curtain. Revealing the inner world is not intimacy, it is risk. Rule 15. Always leave conversations with warmth and precision. Exiting a conversation is a skill, and the elite treat it as a delicate art. They do not abruptly announce they must mingle. They do not offer vague excuses. They do not leave someone hanging mid-sentence. Instead, they close gracefully with a brief sentence that affirms the interaction. It was such a pleasure speaking with you. I hope our paths cross again soon. Or if the connection is weaker, I'm so glad we had a chance to chat. I'll let you continue your conversation. Thank you for the lovely exchange. Short, warm, polished, then they drift away, neither rushed nor lingering. The exit is as important as the entrance. Rule 16. Your tone, rhythm, and calmness matter more than your words. The way you speak in high society matters far more than what you say. Your tone should be low, calm, and steady. Your rhythm should be unhurried. Your body language should be open but contained. People remember how you made them feel long after they forget your words. Inside elite circles, presence is more powerful than eloquence. A person who speaks with elegance, even if they say very little, leaves a stronger impression than someone who speaks brilliantly but with the wrong energy. This is the rule old money teaches its children from the day they can form sentences. Control your tone. Never rush your words. Never let your emotions outweigh your composure. The elite prize serenity more than sophistication. Rule 17. True belonging happens the moment you stop trying to prove anything. This is the final, unwritten rule, the one that reveals itself only after you've spent time in these rooms. The people who truly belong are not the ones with the most money, the most connections, or the most polished exterior. They are the ones who move without effort, who speak calmly, listen generously, and carry themselves with quiet assurance. They don't try to be impressive, and ironically, that makes them unforgettable.